Crypto Bean 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. And if you're looking at this chart right now, as I'm showing you, you can see BTC is still trading within the range I've been, telling you guys since on Monday. And why is it like that? Because we have broken a structure. I keep telling you that we have a structure broken on a weekly time frame, and that is the reason why we've seen BTC not really pushing back up. And if you look at ETH, like I told you, that you can still hold on to your ETH. You can see ETH has even moved a little bit up since Monday. But these are more what we're going to be looking at on the show today. And this is the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. My name still remains the same, Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great. And we're going to start with BTC this morning regarding the news, because I found out that the bull run might be over. I'm not saying it over yet. Remember, I've been saying we are waiting for September 17 to get the rate cut from the Fed POE to see if it's going to be 75 basis point, 50 basis point, or 25 basis point. I believe that is what is going to affect the market. If they cut the rate so high, possibility we're going to see the market skyrocket. But mind you, BTC could skyrocket and only go back to test this top again, or break above it and move to the all-time high, which we all know is 125. So to me, there's no difference. So what do we need to look at? I think it's time we start shifting our focus from Bitcoin to altcoins and meme coins. We've not had the season, although we've seen some altcoins performing very well. I'm talking about Solana did so well since the last bear market into this bull cycle. Solana XRP has done exceptionally well, even though we've not seen the crazy and the super cycle we're waiting from the Ripple. And to talk about that, congratulations to Africa. We now have Ripple in Africa. I think that was a good news. You can see Ripple USD is now available in Africa, and this is a moment everyone has been waiting for. Although we are used to USDT and all of that, but I believe when we have different stable coins, the competition will be there, and we're not going to put all our eggs in one basket, excuse me. So congratulations to Africa. We now have RLUSD in Africa, and that was done yesterday. So we're gonna see how that is gonna affect the market, and maybe people will be able to trade more or convert more using Ripple, because Ripple is operating like the normal native financial institution. I'm talking about the native banks we normally use, and that is why a lot of crypto community are against them, because they feel like we're running away from some people controlling the narrative regarding money in the world. But now Ripple is still bringing crypto into the scene, but they want to run in like a proper banking sector and stuff like that. I think I'm going to drop a video about that so you guys will understand more about what I'm talking about. All right, let's go back to the news. Let's go back to the chart. Like I was saying before we go to the news, BTC is still moving around there. Like I told you, we need the weekly time frame to create a kind of structure back, or let's even see if this week candle is going to finish like our green candle, and when we break above it, then maybe possibly we could get into. But I know the market is going to be like this, just up and down, and not really being volatile until September 17, when we're going to have the rate cut, except we have one big news coming out of any part of the world that is affecting the market. All right, so having said that, we're going to check more news on the radar. Obviously, we're going to check what the market cap is looking like. We are still going to look at what the event of the day is looking like, because that is very important. You need to know the news that are coming out of this different zone where trading is being done, so you can know what you need to do regarding your portfolio. All right, if you've not subscribed to the channel and you've been following this channel, please and please subscribe, like, and share, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell so you can get what we drop for you immediately every day. All right, let's dive into the news. The first news is, I told you BTC, probably the bull run is over. I am not saying it's over, but I'm saying we might not see a crazy move again above the 125, 120 something, because like I said, every cycle we normally double the all-time highs. Like in 2017, we went to 20k, then we fall back to around 3k thereabout. Then when we had another cycle, which was in 2020, 2021, we went to 60,000, almost 70k. That's triple what the all-time high was. So now in 2025, 2024, 2025 now, we've seen the market has rallied up to 125, which if it's going to be triple, it has to be 180, because the last cycle was 60 something k to 70k. So if you multiply that by 3, that's going to be 210 or 180k to 210. But I said something on Monday or on Tuesday that now the game has changed. It's not like before where it is just we, the crypto enterprises and all these people, all this community that are promoting cryptocurrency want crypto to prevail. Now we have the institutions in the game, and these institutions, they have so much money. You can see what they do with forex. They manipulate it, they do whatever they want with it. The same thing now, they are flowing into cryptocurrency through ETF. You can see the amount of inflow we saw going into ETF, and we saw the amount of outflow from BTC, and now yesterday we start seeing some inflow back into ETF, BTC ETF. So now we now have them in, and you know what they do? These big banks, these major banks, these big investors like Grayscale, Strategy B, BlackRock, etc. They do business. They put their money in asset. Once they see the market has given them so much money, they pull it out, pull in another sector, and so on. They rotate it like that. So you need to understand that the game has changed. What even propelled this bull run, if you can tell me? What propelled the last bull run was pandemic, because there was stimulus, and that stimulus was a lot of money printed by United States of America and being given to who? Given to the citizens. And now the citizens use the money to buy crypto and all of that, and that frenzy make the crypto skyrocketed. And now Elon Musk came into the game last bull cycle saying Tesla will start accepting BTC, and we saw the market went haywire. But from there, when Elon Musk came back and said no, they will stop because of the disaster or the environmental disaster, this and that, we saw the market plummet, and from there, the market fell down to 15,000 US dollars. And now, from 15,000 US dollars now, we saw immediately the approved ETF, the market shot up to about, I think 40k thereabout, or to almost 70k. No, I think it was 40k. Now, when Donald Trump won the election, it went to 70k. You can see the scene that was making a move away. So now the ETF, imagine people that invested at 40,000 and now is trading at 125. They could decide to take profit and they're out of the game. So please don't be caught off guard. You need to always take profit along the way as the market is moving on. And the bull cycle might be over. I'm not going to lie to you. It might be over. We might be thinking we're going to do ×3, and we're never going to see that, because imagine when the Jackson Hole stuff happened 2 weeks ago, a week ago, every token went up, even talking about ADA, SUI, and all of that. But BTC went up and fell immediately, to show you that buyers to hold it at that point are no longer too much out there, except something exceptional happens, like rate cuts that everyone has been waiting for. And now, even though they do the rate cuts, if the market should move from like 110 that the price is at right now, and move to about 130, it's still a good move. They could take profit at 130k again, and the market will start falling down. I told you, the moment we break 98,000, I just believe we are in bear market already, because that is big structure. Let me show you on the screen before we get to the news. Sorry about that. Let me show you on the screen. You see that, see, the market is broken a structure here, but we are still holding this low. You understand? And this low is 98,000. If we should break this low, possibility we're back to what? We are back to bear market, because you can see the low right here, we never broke it. See the low right here, we didn't break it. See the low right here, we didn't break it. See the low right here, we didn't break it. Even see the low at 15K, we didn't break it. So now anything that makes us break this low for the first time, that the market has been moving from 15,000 to the all-time high we saw at 124K, that could be the beginning of bear market. So don't be deceived by the noise, the influences, and everybody out there saying the bull run might still be till we hit 400K. I'm not saying Bitcoin is not going to get a 400K. I even believe Bitcoin will hit $1 million US, but it's not going to be in a cycle. It's going to be cycle after cycle after cycle. Maybe in the next 20, 30 years, I don't know. It depends on the adoption. If by next year or by next cycle we have a lot of adoption, we might move it to 300K, 400K. Now, if you have more, remember, times 2 or times 3, or even though it's time multiplied by 1. Imagine we reach 400K and it's multiplied by 1. That would be 800K. Then we reach 800K multiplied by 1. That would be 1.6 billion. So it could be like that. But everything is not going to happen in one cycle. Take a look at all the assets that are out there that people are trading. You see it has been a line moving up and down, but still going up over decades. You understand? So I believe crypto is not going to be exceptional to all these kind of things we're seeing in the native asset people are trading. So bull run might be over, or probably we're still going to move a little bit ahead, but we might not see the super rally everyone has been talking about, 400K, 500K. You remember the last cycle when we were at 60 something, 70K, everyone was shouting we're going to hit 200K. Everybody was saying 200K, 200K. But what happened? From 69 thereabout, the market plummeted down back to 15,000. The same thing could happen this season. Everyone will be hoping we're going to hit 400K, 240K, and we might just push a little bit to 130K, and that is all. But the good thing is, on this show, we'll always analyze the charts every day. So as long as you're on this show, we'll always know when we need to get out of the market, or we still need to hold on to our portfolio. And like I used to tell you, whatever analysis we do on the charts on this show is for investors. It's for people that buy and hold. If you want to learn how to do day trading and all of that, you need to subscribe to my Telegram channel and probably link me up. But for Signal's Telegram channel, for free education too, you can subscribe to our Telegram channel. The links are down in the description. And that is that for now. Let's now move to the business of the day, which is the first news regarding my fear. You'll see why I'm scared that the bull run might be over. And it's going to start with Bitcoin to altcoins, then to the meme coin. All right, now let's check the first news. You can see Bitcoin whales cut back. Average holdings at lowest since what? Since 2018. What does that mean? If the whales are cutting back and now they are not holding much position as they used to before, what is that telling us? It's showing they are pulling out little by little. Don't get me wrong, they might come back if the news is favorable on September 17 with the rate cut, but with what we are seeing now, we need to work with what we are seeing on the chart, on the news, and so on and so forth. So Bitcoin whales cut back average holdings at lowest since 2018. Another news regarding BTC, and this is still the same thing. We all know treasury companies are the companies holding all these tokens, all these what will I call it, coins that we're trading. And now you can see what they say here. Bitcoin treasury companies now down 75% from its peak. Will Bitcoin treasury company be justified? That's what I'm telling you. You can see it's now down 75% from its peak. So when you're seeing all these things, you don't need to pay a blind side to it. You need to know that probably the bull run might be ending, or maybe we're going to have a little push. And like I've been saying, if Bitcoin should stop at 130, even at 125, it's done exceptional well. From 15,000, the low, to 125. Do you know how many X is that? That is a lot of money. And I feel like whoever or people that invested from the low to this point, they will be glad to get out of the market, because imagine the last low we had in 2017 was around, I think, 35K. Then we pushed towards to about 60K or 70K. So that's about 12x. Now from 15K to 115, that's about 10x. That is still something. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So I just feel like that is great gains BTC has done this cycle. If it stop right, I'm not gonna believe. What I would just focus on now is the altcoins, because we know a lot of altcoins, they've not performed very well. So altcoins is now what we'll be taking a look at to see if they're gonna have that super or good rally like BTC. And if BTC still move ahead a little bit too, it's still good. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying bull run it's over, but I'm saying you need to be very careful. All right, more news regarding BTC. You'll see that on the news again, it shows that now Bitcoin hash rate reaches record high as miners adapt to lower reward and energy costs. You can see reaches the record high as miners adapt to lower rewards and energy costs. So it's a lot. There's another news regarding that is we need to know that the moment they trying to cut costs and doing all these things, something is going to happen. We've seen it coming to play year to year or cycle to cycle, if I'm going to talk about that. So that's why I'm saying if you're still not in BTC or you're not buying it right now, I feel it's good. You can stay out of it. Let's see how this week is going to play out. If by next week we finish a green candle very strong and we're able to break above it, remember, even though we break above this green, it doesn't mean it's a buy, because for us to know BTC is going to move a little bit higher, we need to break this all-time high that it creates, which is around 124 thereabout. We need to break it, because if you're looking at the structure right now, we need to break it, or we're going to have a structure that's going to form out within this 110 and 124. Then we use the structure to get back into the trade or the asset and know that possibly the market is going to move. So that's that on BTC. Let's now check the king of altcoins, which is Ethereum. And you can see Bitmine acquires $65 million worth of ETH via Galaxy Digital. And I told you on Monday we saw people buying, on Tuesday, even yesterday, people keep buying ETH. And when you take a look at ETH charts, ETH is looking very strong. No weekly candle has been invalidated. No structure has been formed, nothing like that. So it shows that the Ethereum is still looking very strong and it might want to push a little bit higher. Remember, if everybody is pulling away from BTC, they're going to put their money on altcoin first, which is going to be Solana, ETH, ADA, SUI, AVAX, XRP, and so on and so forth. And when the altcoin when they're exhausted, people will move their money down to meme coins, and we're going to see the likes of meme coins to started shooting up. So I believe ETH is better, is a better asset to hold on to right now compared to BTC. And even though you're just getting into the market now, okay, take for instance, you want to buy Bitcoin now. I'm not saying you shouldn't have buy or hold Bitcoin, but I'm just saying it has gone to its peak. If it's going to go higher more, even though at 120 or 110, if it goes to 200, you are just making 1x. But imagine you get into Ethereum right now at 4,000 and it goes to about 15, 16K, because the altcoin season is not here yet. We're not even sure if we're going to have it, but I believe altcoin season will come. And now, if you do that, that will be like 3x or 4x. So which is going to make you more money? You understand? So you have to look it from that aspect of how am I going to increase my portfolio and make more money. But if the opportunity presents itself and we still see good entry for BTC, we're going to definitely get back into the market. So for ETH is looking so much good. Now more news on altcoins, and this is Solana. You can see Solana is now facing a level at which everyone is scared if we're going to break it or not. And you can see Solana price holds above key level as volume what builds near 210. Like I told you, Solana has done exceptionally well from $30, even at some point $20, $15, $30 now to 210. But we all know altcoin season uh, is not here yet, and we believe we might see the coin perform a little bit better. But Solana is holding above the key levels, and we're going to see if it's going to break above it or we're going to see a pushback from there. All I know is September 17 is going to be the day that will show or will determine if we're going to have altcoin season or not. If it's not favorable, I'm afraid to tell you maybe altcoin season is not going to come this bull cycle. Maybe that's the end. The one that will perform are the one that we've seen. You understand? Although we know we're expecting some ETF for some altcoins, and let's see maybe when that start happening and we saw all these big investors that pump BTC, that is pumping ETH now, maybe we're going to see them pump the rest of altcoins, and maybe we're going to have altcoin season. But for now, no stimulus, nothing. The inflation is better in the United States now, but they are waiting for the Fed to cut rate. If Fed should cut rate, I believe that is going to ease a lot of things, because you're going to see people want to borrow more money, create more jobs, and a lot of people are going to get more jobs. There'll be a lot of money, no inflation again. You'll be able to save more, and probably we're going to see some out of those money come into cryptocurrency market. All right, speaking of altcoins, let's talk about Ripple. And you can see XRP, like I said, Ripple is now in Africa, guys. That's Ripple stablecoin is now in Africa. But now this is we're talking about their token, which is XRP, and now XRP symmetric triangle formed under $3. You can see under $3. Let's take a look at the chart and see what XRP uh, looks like. Like I told you, XRP was trading around 30 cents, 20 cents thereabout some months ago, and now it went up to about 3.7 or 3.6, and now trading at 2.8. But like I told you, since on Monday, I said XRP has created a structure. And the structure we're seeing, if we should break above these by next week, I'm just going to tell you, please stay out of XRP for now, because possibility is going to come and test this $2 or $1.6 is there, then you can buy from there. But for now, it's still holding on to this thing that I put there. We've not been able to, break below it. So let's see if XRP is going to hold this support. If it's able to hold this support, and by next week we are seeing a massive movement breaking above this, then we know that okay, probably we could get into my XRP back. All right, now available in Africa as we speak. All right, now let's talk about one of the meme coin that is facing a lot of pressure, and this is Pepe. We all know when Pepe came out, Pepe did good. A lot of people made money before it crashed, and since then he's been following the trend of other meme coin, and now Pepe may crash another 20% if the support is broken. That's what is coming out of the news. Let's go to Pepe chart quickly and see what that looks like. I believe yesterday when I talked about meme coins, I said we need to wait for it to break, and you can see we are breaking below this. So indirectly, it looks as if Pepe might be falling off truly, because you can see we created a structure here and we're breaking below it. So I would advise you stay out of Pepe. But what I'm saying is, if you look at Pepe from the meme coin angle is still part of the token someone should start accumulating. I'm going to tell you why. You can see we are pulling down to come and test this low. Look at this low. We're pulling down to come and test this low, which is going to be now form a kind of double bottom for us in the nearest future. So maybe before September 17, we're going to see a massive dump on some coins, maybe even on BTC, Ethereum a little bit, and so many meme coins to form a double top here. Then when we have that good news come September 17 this month, when the Fed actually now decide to cut the rate, I don't know how many basis points it's going to be, maybe 25 basis point, 50 basis point, or 75 basis point, we don't know, because people have been waiting for them to cut for so long. When that happens, we might now see Pepe or altcoins start moving ahead. So Pepe might fall a little bit down to this, but if let's say 20%, let's calculate how many percent is this. Even to me, it's more than 20%. It might be 45%. You know, Pepe might fall 45% from that zone to this zone. So, but let's see. We just need to do what we need to wait and see what will happen. That's why this show is very important, because we're going to be analyzing the charts, the token, altcoins, and Bitcoin every day. Whatever that is making the waves on the radar when it comes to news, we're going to talk about, we're going to analyze it together, and we're going to discuss when and how we can go about it. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel. It's Crypto Being 101, the home of value and good information when it comes to cryptocurrency trading and investment. Also, you can follow me on X, you can follow me on Facebook, you can follow me on Instagram and on TikTok to get some of the nuggets that we drop for you on this great platform. All right, that's that regarding the news. Let's now check what the chart analysis looks like. We've already explained a little bit about Bitcoin, saying BTC has broken this structure kind of, and now it might pull down to form to break this 78k, and if we should break that 78k, possibility of 74k is there, and possibility of 50k, and that means we're going to be in bear market. And the same thing with ETH. ETH is looking so strong, guys. You can see ETH is looking so strong. Even check the structure. It's been higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, another higher high. We've not even broken the higher low, and we've not even seen any structure being formed. So ETH is looking good, but let's take a look at Chainlink 2 is looking good. You can see where I put where we need to get out of the market, and but because we have a kicker here, we might want to get out of Chainlink a little bit to wait and get back later, because this kicker means the market want to pull back or form a structure to fall back. That's what a kicker means when you charting or you're looking at the chart. Now let's take a look at Solana that we spoke about just now. You can see Solana is still moving strong. Solana is still a buy, and your stop loss or where you need to get out of the market is still right there. Let's take a look at Avalanche. We saw Avalanche performing very well yesterday, and Avalanche is still looking strong. So to cut the whole thing short, I feel like all altcoins are just preparing themselves to zoom off and go to the moon, like we always say in the crypto space. So I feel like all altcoins are doing great. And let me take a look at Ton. Ton is a coin I said everyone should hold some, but you can see Ton has now broken a structure on a weekly. So now what I'm going to do with Ton is I feel like we need to stay out of it for a while and wait. If we're going to see Ton breaking above this 3.6, then we know that it's going to recover. But for right now, it's broken a structure, although we've not taken out the low at 2.72, but for it to have broken the structure, I am not really good with that. So I'd rather just stay away from it. Let's take a look at Dogecoin when it comes to meme coin. Dogecoin is holding very strong. You can see it's still not breaking this 1.0 or 0.21 that I showed you guys since the beginning of the week. Let's take a look at Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu is about to break the structure. So let's see, if it breaks this structure, we might want to step away from Shiba Inu too if we are holding some of the token in our portfolio. Remember, all this analysis is for our portfolio. That means it's for people that are buying and holding, not day traders. If you're a day trader and you want to learn how to trade, or you want to be getting free signals, you might want to join my Telegram, and the links are down in the description. Everything is free of charge. All right, that's what I have for you on charting, the news. Let's take a look at what the calendar is looking like today. If you look at the calendar today, being the September 4th 2025, you'll find out that we only have important news around 2:15 p.m. SAST, and it's about non-farm employment change, and we have good news. This is very important news, and I think this might even change the market a little bit today, and that will be at 2:30 p.m. SAST, and that is employment claims. And at 4 p.m. SAST time, we're going to have ISM service PMI. So these are what we need to be looking at or looking out for on when it comes to the event of the day. Now let's take a look at what the market cap is looking like. Yesterday we were above 3.9 trillion US dollar. Today we are still above 3.9 trillion US dollar. And World Liberty Financial is still trending because they launched their token on all exchanges. You know, it's been backed by Donald Trump and his children. So if you want to know more about that, you can watch the previous episode when I discuss what happened about World Liberty Reserve and how they're going to make sure the holders believe in the project and hold it. Pump fund is still trending, of course, and you can see top 10 cryptocurrency as of today still remain: number 1 BTC, number 2 Ethereum, number 3 XRP, number 4 Theta, number 5 BNB, number 6 Solana, number 7 USDC, number 8 Lido Stake, number 9 Dogecoin, and number 10 is Tron. The likes of Cardano, Chainlink, Sui are between number 11 to number 20. If you want to know what spot your project is sitting at, you might want to check out coingecko.com to know much about that. All right, that's what I have for you on the show today, but we're not going to round up the show without checking what the sentiment looks like on the market. And if you look at it right now, the sentiment is still kind of neutral because everyone is still being careful. Should I sell? Should I hold? You know, we're still between their face. So the market right now is neutral. Yesterday was a little bit greed. Last week neutral. Last month, last month was great because we did a lot of numbers. 1.8 trillion volume in August alone. That was massive. So definitely you should know last month will remain greed. So that's what the fear and greed index is looking at this morning. All right, till I catch you tomorrow on another wonderful episode of this, the Bitcoin and Breakfast Show, where we trade it and we do not gamble it. My name still remains the same, Ahmed Oladmeji Kazim, aka KC the Great. Until then, peace.